Hey everybody, this is a Review Revolution coming at you with another Marvel Legends Apocalypse series. And today we're taking a look at Sasquatch. Or Bigfoot, if you will. Sasquatch, of course, being one of the founding members of the Canadian governmental team Alpha Flight, kind of the Avengers of Canada. Very cool. I mean, I always liked the government-run teams. I thought that they were actually pretty awesome. And also one of the main parts of the main elements to the Wolverine backstory, to the Weapon X backstory. So when X-Men Origins, starring Wolverine, came out, I was thinking, sweet, we're going to see the Alpha Flight. And no, we really didn't. If you were really paying attention, there is a scene or two in there that kind of tips it to it, but no, not as much as I had hoped. I'm really hoping we get to see, if we're seeing Wolverine stories at some point, I really want to see the Alpha Flight. I do. I think they're pretty cool, and a good Wolverine story would definitely have them. Some of the other members in the team, because there are none others in this wave, but some of the other members of the team were Puck, Guardian, Snowbird, Shaman, and then North Star and Aurora. I think Vindicator came along later, and then there were some, characters that kind of came and went, but yeah, those were pretty much the main team members. Box was there every now and then, the robot. But that aside, Sasquatch is the one we're taking a look at today. And in this case, packaging pretty similar to what we saw with Bishop. As a matter of fact, taking a look at the back here, absolutely no difference. Everything exactly the same. Up at the top, you got the great little picture of Sasquatch with all his stats. Height, weight, eyes, hair, pretty straightforward. Walter Legowski had it all. Professional football player, PhD in physics, millionaire status. Let me stop for a moment because it's PhD in physics and biology. So something's going to go down. He also had something else. Thick orange fur, ape-like physique, and clawed hands and feet. Walter designed and constructed a device to generate gamma radiation bombardments similar to those that it was created at the Hulk. He used the equipment on himself and was transformed to a 10-foot-tall, superhuman, powerful creature. Walter called his bestial form Sasquatch, the Canadian name for the legendary Bigfoot, the creature that he resembled. Once he learned how to maintain his normal personality and intellect as Sasquatch, he joined the Alpha Flight. Walter Legowski continues to be his own successful experiment, a man changed into a superhuman Sasquatch with the power that can benefit all of mutant kind. It's kind of an important point that not all the Alpha Flight are mutants, just certain ones. But that's kind of a quick look at the pack, a little background about the character. Let's pop them up and take a look. Alright, well, now that we're back and got Sasquatch out of the pack, I have to say, the Toy Biz Marvel Legend lines haven't disappointed. They're just really fantastic, each and every one of them. Sasquatch, well, before I get too far into it, I do want to mention that, of course, the Toy Biz Marvel Legends are slightly larger scale than the Hasbro. Hasbro kind of scaled them down a little bit. So you can't really display them together necessarily. It's not a tremendous difference, but it's obvious when you put them together. Sasquatch, being a giant character even for the Toy Biz series, you can display with your Hasbro ones without much difference. He's big no matter what. And by that I mean that taking a look, you can see he's a pretty decent size, but this is actually him in a crouched over position. He's actually kind of hunched over. So that is that's something right there. And that's probably how I've imposed. I like the kind of being an ex-football player and being so big and beastie. I kind of think that's a really good pose for him. But taking a closer look, you can see that as far as the details go, and I really need to do something about my light, you can see that he's got his red eyes kind of deep in there. He's got his fur with all the appropriate highlights and parts hanging down and so forth, looking really good. For his articulation, just like Bishop, they gave enough clearance on the head so that it would go up and down, which is actually really nice. Gives you a good range of possibilities, despite the fact that he's got all this hair in the back. He does have a crunch. Let's move that down. Got a crunch, which can give him kind of a leaning back, howling kind of look, or as we saw a moment ago, kind of the hunched over, ready to charge in kind of look. Twist at the waist. The elbow does go, or the shoulder I should say, goes out and turns. He does have this like chest crunch going on, which a little unnecessary, but I don't know. Being that he's so big, you can add the extra articulation in, and I don't mind. Double joints at the elbow. I'm not a big fan of double joints, and on the elbow, particularly because he has this fuzzy part here, it kind of limits the point of having it. So, had he had a single joint, that would have been fine. He does have a twist at the wrist, at the hand, and fingers are individually articulated. The legs do go out again, double joint at the knee. The foot does turn here, and there is kind of a slight hinge there and on the toe. So quite a bit of articulation for him, and being that he's so big, he can utilize all of it in just all kinds of different poses. Very nice. Very nice. One of the big debates that have been happening with the Masters of the Universe Classics lines was whether or not Mossman was actually going to be flocked. And I'm not trying to get off on a tangent, but certainly if they hadn't flocked him, they would have sculpted his fur, his moss, onto his body. And though we never really got to see anything real clear, in my opinion, if they had done this look on him, because this is great. He's not actually flocked, but you can really look and see how his fur is sculpted on, and it looks great. From a posed position, pretty far back, I mean, that's just beautiful. It really is. So had Mossman had this style of sculpt on him, I probably could have forgiven if he wasn't actually flocked. Fans demanded the flock, so it looks like we're going to get him that way. But for Sasquatch, hey, this sculpted fur looks fantastic. Looks great. In the way of his accessories, he does come with three, actually. He comes with the arm, the right arm of Apocalypse. Another big piece. And he comes with the tube. And I guess it's a good point to mention that the tube, it's not kind of pre-sculpted or anything like that. It actually has like a wire inside. So it's kind of got the Gumby style sort of posability on it. So I'm sure that's going to help out a lot when it's actually attached. That probably was a good idea to do. His third accessory is the comic Alpha Flight number 10. Good issue. Obviously a Sasquatch issue. It has to be relevant to the character. This one actually portrayed a fight between Sasquatch and the Super Skrull. So it's a good read. It's one I'm pretty happy with. And then, of course, lastly, I did go ahead and display or put back up the instructions for assembling Apocalypse, which we'll get to. For now, though, I have to say that for Sasquatch, great character. Probably next to Bishop, my second favorite out of the wave. I didn't think I was going to like him nearly as much in the pack. But I have to give him, again, 4.5 stars. 4 to 4.5. He falls just short of 5 gosh, I don't have a good reason why not to give him a full 5 stars. He's just a really, really cool figure. I'll give him 4.5 now, because I want to leave room for someone who may end up being better, but he so far comes pretty close. So he and Bishop both, 4.5 stars each. This has been the Review Revolution, saying rate, comment, subscribe, join the revolution. Remember, we're on our race to 1,000 subscribers for the giveaway on the DC Universe Wave 10, so tell your friends, and hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.